Welcome back, Vibe Tribe. It's your boy Mickey Made It. On today's episode, we're talking about pretty privilege. See, a slew of young women have taken to TikTok to reveal how they benefit from being really good looking. See, the content creators have shared videos discussing their pretty privilege, saying they're showered with free gifts and attention simply for being conventionally attractive. Chicago-based beauty Anjola, who uses the handle BJewelBud, created a viral TikTok video listing all the freebies she's received last summer courtesy of her pretty privilege. The bragging beauty claims she scored drinks, Uber rides, surf lessons, and $500 tickets of Lollapalooza, all free of charge, for no other reason than the fact that she is stunning.
The next day, didn't text me after that. I got free surf lessons from the owner of this ice cream shop I had met the day before, more free drinks at a really nice restaurant bar in Chicago from a guy who was sitting at the bar, and a couple that was sitting at the bar in Chicago. That was a first for me. And in this beautiful bar in Athens, Greece, all my drinks were covered by the guy sitting on the table next to me.
She says the people who gave her the gifts weren't expecting anything in return and were simply excited to be in her company. Very similar, Kentucky-based blonde Mermaid Keels claims she's been the beneficiary of pretty privilege since shedding more than 100 pounds. The beauty shared an old photo that showed her at 257 pounds when she claimed she rarely received any perks.
Hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this?
Yes, girl, let's talk about it because it needs to be talked about. Okay, so let me get my credentials out of the way really quickly. A few years ago, I looked like this. Now I look like this, and that has given me the power to experience both the best and the worst that pretty privilege has to offer. Also, not to go super psychological on y'all, at 9 o'clock in the morning, look up the halo effect on Google and learn more about this. So now let's talk about what pretty privilege actually looks like. It's little subtle things that you wouldn't notice before. So for example, not being charged for that extra drink or dessert at a restaurant, having someone offer to put the air in your tires rather than see you struggle doing it. And you can tell me like, oh my god, Kelsey, like maybe people are just good, or maybe they're just doing a good deed. And I'm with you, they're doing a good deed, but why didn't they do that good deed when I was 257 pounds, huh? Why did all of a sudden all these good deeds start happening to me the moment I look like this? Because I went from like one good deed happening to me to a year to 10 of them happening to me in a week. That's not a coincidence, I'm sorry.
These days, however, Keels claims she benefits from her beauty every single day. The stunning Olivia Paulson says she's been called a bitch simply for being hot.
If you have pretty privilege at least one time in your life, you have heard, oh my god, I thought you were such a bitch, and then I met you and you're so nice.
Meanwhile, a TikToker named Ali says there are numerous perils that come with being pretty.
Everybody on this app wants to talk about how people are consistently benefiting from pretty privilege, but nobody wants to talk about how pretty privilege can actually affect your life in a negative way. I first wanted to say this video is not saying to feel bad for people that are conventionally attractive. I just want to let people be aware that pretty privilege affects people's lives in different ways. And it's not always positive, so yeah. For one, girls that benefit from pretty privilege, sometimes guys don't even take you seriously. If you are one of those girls and that does happen to you, you just kind of have to deal with it. You just kind of have to realize like, okay, this guy's really into me, but like he might have a girlfriend, he might just like want to hook up with me. I don't know. You never know. Another thing is girls seeing you as competition. Sometimes a girl will front as your friend, but literally she has the worst intentions for you and she secretly wants to see you fail. And I talked about this before, but feeling lonely and just being excluded from things. So yeah, pretty privilege is a privilege, but just keep in mind that not all pretty girls have it all together or have the perfect life because they're pretty.
Meanwhile, another attractive TikToker user, Madeline Ford, concedes that while women benefit from pretty privilege, they have to put in far more effort than men in order to reap the rewards.
Okay, here's my hot take on pretty privilege. See how I looked really pretty in that first clip and it kept your attention?
I digress. I'm just gonna use gender binaries for the sake of this video, but I do think both men and women experience pretty privilege, but here's the difference. First, let's define privilege. A privilege is a special right or advantage only available to a particular group of people. I will be using this graph to demonstrate my point. The y-axis is someone's level of attractiveness, the x-axis is someone's level of privilege. Right here is an average-looking person treated with the bare minimum level of human decency. Now, for a woman to receive a high level of privilege, she has to be very pretty. We're talking Bella Hadid, Zoe Kravitz, whereas a man only has to be tall or take a shower and will receive the same level of privilege. Additionally, if a man and woman put the same minimal level of effort into their appearance, no makeup, etc., the man is still treated as average and is in fact still respected for his other attributes that carry worth. However, the woman is treated as subhuman because being pretty is the rent we pay for human decency and to exist in this world.
When you a pretty girl, men gonna talk to you at the red light, at the gas station, at the grocery store. Men gonna talk to you wherever. So you can't come tripping. Like, relax. We used to this.